welcome to another special edition of the Digital Education Station. We are here at Santa Anita Park right before Arcadia High School graduation with Arcadia High School Class of 2024 Valedictorian Casey Kim. Casey, what was your first reaction when you found out you were valedictorian?
Well, at first I was in immediate shock. I didn't really think that that it was going to be me, so once I heard it, there was just absolute shock on my face. And I think everyone could tell that, because once I went down and Dr. Dillman asked me to give a couple words, I just stared at the audience and said, "Thank you," and then just walked back up. So yeah, it was just a lot of shock.
It is such an impressive accomplishment, and as you said, there's so many worthy students. The class is almost 800 seniors this year, which is incredible. What do you think kind of helped set you apart for this distinction, and what kind of led to this moment here?
I think the main thing that helped me out was that a lot of my activities are based on kind of a community aspect, because one of my favorite activities that I do is I'm the band president of the Apache marching band.
The SESBLA 6A Field Championships is proud to present the Arcadia Apache Marching Band in Color Guard.
We're one of the most competitive groups out there, and I think the reason that it was part of the application that I wrote in my essay, I wrote about what that community meant to me. Having a section that could just be my friends, hanging out with them, having a group of 200 on campus that I could just hang out with. And that led me to also ASB, which I've been a part of since the 5th grade. So just everything that I do, it's just about giving back to the community. So I think that's what helped me stand out.
I'd love to touch on the Arcadia High Marching Band with you, because I feel like it's such a great program. Arcadia High is known for many things, academics, we have great sports and athletics, but the performing arts and music is huge throughout the district. The marching band is so impressive. I mean, Arcadia High School Marching Band has been at 2 presidential inauguration parades, World Series, bowl games, you know, all these things. And it's just so impressive to me how the directors organize this. The students are so flawless. What has that experience been like, being part of such a prestigious, well-oiled musical machine?
Well, I think one part of it is I've learned how to just be part of a group, because there's a lot of things that you learn rather than trying to, like when you're in school, you're doing a lot of individual assignments, it's a lot of individual work, studying for tests. But once you're in band, you realize that every single person is important. When you watch our field show, there's a saying that Mr. Sherrill, one of our directors, always says. He says that he asks all the freshmen when they first join band, he plays a little of our field show and asks them to spot the freshmen in it. And obviously they can't, because all of us look like we're doing perfect drill, playing musically. You can't really tell that anyone's a part. So I think what I've learned in being part of such a prestigious group is that every single person matters, because as I said when I was talking about the field show, every single person, one error can just stand out. So it's about uplifting everyone, because that's what makes our band so successful.
It's an amazing band, and you guys have a special class, because coming into high school 2020 was, you know, a high school like nobody has ever experienced before. What has this past 4 years been like as you start to reflect on your high school career? It's been remarkable what you guys accomplished and went through.
Yeah, if I had to go through it, I'd have to go through it year by year, because I'd say that every year is vastly different. Freshman year was more of kind of self-isolation. I think we lost a lot of trying to talk to each other, just communicating in person, and that's where sophomore year really kicked in. It was making up for kind of the lost friends that we've made in sophomore year, and I can say part of ASB, we were a big part of trying to drive that back in. Sophomore council, we planned so many events. We had to go out on a limb and just plan prom, which was an amazing achievement for a couple of sophomores that hadn't really been in Arcadia High School before. And junior year and senior year, it was just getting back to normality. We just learned that we had to just deal with this high school experience we were with, and as we can see now, with all these people in the stands that are about to be here and watch the graduation, I think it has come back to normal, and now we can just appreciate our high school graduation.
You guys did a great job, because it was very tough coming back and getting people together, bonding, those relationships again. I commend you and your ASB colleagues and everyone at the high school for really making that such a cohesive unit, which was amazing. So many other groups and clubs that you've been in throughout your time here. What are some of those?
I'd say some of the groups that I've been a part of, every single one, I just try to search for the community in it. Again, it's a big aspect of who I am. I joined Peer Tutoring and Outreach. It's a group that works in the library after school, just offering free tutoring services to anyone. And I've been a part of it since my second semester of my freshman year, and it's just a great opportunity because you can come in after school. I come in after school 3 days a week and just help out. There's one of the subjects that I specialize in is physics, and I think it's just a great way of giving back because junior year at Arcadia High School, it's AP Physics is a notoriously hard class.
Yes.
And it just felt awesome giving back to people that were taking the class right now and telling them and just leading them through the steps of it and showing them that it isn't as bad as it seems at first. And another activity I'm a part of at Arcadia High School is our math team, which is also a very impressive and talented group. But I'd say our math team, we're a little on the dorky side because we just try to figure out the most random formulas and equations, come up with the most random problems and try to solve them. And it's just another great environment to be around. And it really centers around great leadership. Mainly our advisor who's retiring this year, Mr. Miller, who's also been a teacher that I really respect because I've seen him around town a little. I saw him when we were playing for Pep Band at the Big Bad Voodoo Daddy concert at the PAC. So yeah, I just say all my activities revolve around other people. That's the most important part of it.
You mentioned Mr. Miller. I know in Arcadia we're blessed to have an amazing teachers, staff.
Absolutely.
Always ranked so high. What are some of your favorite teachers going back to elementary, middle, and high school that really were impressionable for you, inspired you?
I'd say one of the biggest teachers that have been a huge help to me is Mrs. Denoto, my 5th grade teacher. I actually wouldn't have joined ASB without her. She was the one who really pushed me to just apply myself, and I was a really energetic kid back then, so then it was just a great way to put my energy into something. So I ran for it, I got it, and then I planned a Pokemon-themed bonding event in 5th grade.
Nice.
So that was really fun. And middle school, I'd again turn to ASB. My advisors, Mrs. Han and Mrs. Zaima, they were a big help because they always pushed me to try to do more, to try to help out more. And that's what we did through our events like FA's Got Talent, all our bonding events during lunch, and so much. And at Arcadia High School, I'd say what I'd focus most on is that all the teachers were driven to inspire me. And I think some of the teachers that inspired me, of course, Mr. Miller, who's been here for, I think, 32, 33, 34 years. So he's been here a lot. He really knows how to teach Calculus BC. So yeah, props to him. And also, I'd say my English teachers, Miss Doring, Mrs. Landis, and Miss Lucas. And I want to touch on Miss Lucas a little bit.
Sure.
She's my AP Literature teacher this year, and I'm again a super energetic I'm a super energetic person, sorry, during that class. After lunch, I just feel super energized to do stuff. I walk around the class a little too much and talk to everyone, but she really lets me raise my hand at every question, add to discussions, and she has a little witty comments for the long conversations I have with my table. So yeah, she's really inspired me to just be confident about what I need to say and just stay motivated and really be interested in English. And before I end here, I want to say that part of the reason I'm going to UC Berkeley in the fall undeclared is because all these teachers have taught me different things, and they've taught me how interesting subjects can be. English, when you write, it can really connect and evoke emotions in people's souls, and that just really connects with me. But also math, I've always loved math since I was in elementary, and that's another thing I really want to do. And also my parents, they're doing business, and I've had a lot of experience with that in my childhood, just watching videos, documentaries, seeing my parents work. So I've been I've also like interacted with that too. So the reason I'm going in undeclared is because I've developed so many passions for so many different things that I just don't know what I want to do quite yet.
That's awesome. It's good to have an open mind, and you are so versatile. In addition to all the clubs and activities you mentioned with ASB, band, and everything else, you won't say this, but I will. You've had perfect grades throughout your entire high school career. It's amazing. There's a lot of pressures at Arcadia High School. Everyone's trying to keep up with each other, peer pressure and all that. What advice would you give now that you're through it all, you went through the stresses, what advice would you give maybe yourself or an incoming 8th grader that's coming to the high school next year as far as how to handle this and that academic social life balance?
I think I'd use a mentality that I've always had since freshman year and even before that. It's just every day when you go to school, try to just put your full energy in what you're doing. That's helped me so much because I don't think I would have enjoyed English as much if I didn't do the reading and just fall in love with the books. Like one play that we've read this year, also titled Arcadia by Tom Stoppard, I just really connected to it because there were a lot of witty jokes, which I love to make jokes, so that really connected to me. And if I hadn't put in that extra effort and try to put myself into that play, I wouldn't have noticed all the witty jokes. I wouldn't have really connected with it. So I just say to all incoming students and students that are having a little difficulty with doing all the challenging courses offered at Arcadia, just put your soul into it. You need to find like a part of it that connects to you. You want to find a part of it where you're like, I can imagine myself doing something like this in the future. And obviously that's a little hard for subjects like Calc, BC, but of course you can be like our math team. You can just invent random problems and just try to find random scenarios where those problems do work. So,
well, Casey, you put your soul into your whole Arcadia Unified career, so congratulations on being valedictorian. On behalf of Dr. Van Alstal, our superintendent, Dr. Dillman, your principal, our Board of Education, and our staff, we just appreciate you, congratulate you, and thank you for representing Arcadia High School and Arcadia Unified so well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.